Hey everyone, my name's Ali, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I want to teach you guys how you can make studying fun, almost like it's a video game, with some actionable tips that you guys can implement today. Exam season is fast approaching, so if you want to learn how I got these grades in my A-levels maths, further maths, physics and chemistry, then listen up. I don't want to waste your time, so let's just get straight into it. First, let's understand why we actually want to make studying more fun, and is it even possible? So we mainly want to make studying fun so that you can study for as long as possible to get the best grades possible. I used to absolutely dread studying, and to be completely honest, I still do sometimes. But in this video, I'll tell you how you can make it more fun so you can do more of it. And I've got 6 tips for you guys. And tip number 1 is to study with friends. And you might be thinking, well, that's the opposite of productivity because I'm just going to end up messing around with my friends instead of actually studying. But trust me, it's actually the opposite. Even if you just find 1 or 2 friends to study with, sit down, try and get some work done. For me personally, it made it so much more fun and I was able to study for longer because of it. Mainly because when other people are around me and I don't want to be working, then I'll just end up doing work anyway because I'm in an environment where everyone's doing work and I don't want to just be lazy and do nothing. And the same goes in the other direction, so both you and your friends end up getting benefits out of it. And also, if you've chosen people who are doing the same subjects as you and studying the same content, then that's even better because you can teach each other the content if one of you doesn't understand it. And for the person explaining it, you're using the Feynman technique, which is a really good active recall technique. And in general, it can make studying feel way less lonely. You can use the Pomodoro timer so that in your breaks, whether that's 5 or 10 minutes, you can actually chat with your friend instead of scrolling reels for an hour, which is a way better way to spend your break so you can actually feel energized for the next study session. Okay, tip number 2 is to build a study system that works for you. I'll break down the exact study routine I use with my tools, use if useful. Alright, so at university right now, we get given a bunch of lecture slides and a bunch of lecture videos that we have to watch. The fastest way I learn the content is by going onto this website, brainbrewstudy.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. And I just upload the lecture slides as a PDF. Then it gives me a notebook with everything that I need. It's got notes that cover all the material in the middle. And then on the left, it's got an AI tutor. So if there's something in the notes that I don't really remember or I don't understand, I can just ask it and it'll help me understand it, literally as if there's a private tutor helping me. And then on the right-hand panel, you have the practice section. And this is the most important bit. You can automatically generate flashcards and quizzes, just perfect for active recall. Once you've done enough of these practice questions and flashcards, you can be pretty confident that you know that topic inside out. I also use Notion a lot. This video isn't sponsored, by the way, but the toggles on Notion are so good. In my opinion, they're way better than flashcards because especially on an app like Anki, you can only see like 1 flashcard at a time. And on Notion, it can be both your notes and your flashcards because you get a big picture view of all of the concept names, and clicking on every toggle has the same functionality as a normal flashcard. Having any kind of study system that you can use is really easy to implement, especially if it's a really simple one, which I recommend making it really simple because that makes it so much more likely that you'll just stick to it and you'll be able to structure your revision way better because you'll know exactly what you need to do to understand a topic properly. And it just takes so much of the uncertainty out of it, so you can just focus on the studying part while knowing that all your revision is really organized and that you have a system that does most of the work for you. The next tip is to try and solve more practice questions and make it a way bigger part of your revision. Now stay with me because I know that solving practice questions and past papers has all the active recall benefits that I talk about in literally every study video that I make on this channel, but it also has a lot of benefits for actually helping you enjoy studying. This is something I feel like just doesn't get talked about enough. It's the fact that it's way more fun to solve some problems rather than just going through your notes and trying to understand them just by reading them passively. You can be really confident that your time is actually being put to good use. And also, in my personal opinion, I think that sitting there and thinking really hard on a maths problem is by far the most fun way to study. And when you've actually thought about a question, it makes it that much more satisfying when you get to the answer instead of just instantly looking at the mark scheme. Tip number 4 is to keep track of every single mock test that you do. Something I don't see many people do is after every mock that you sit, writing down your score in a little table. It can be as simple as possible. You have a row for every past paper that you can sit, maybe all the past papers that are on physics and maths tutor, and then below that, the first sitting that you did of every single one of those past papers and the score that you got. And then below it, maybe the second sitting, if you decide to do some past papers again. And this kind of makes it like a game. Another gamification technique that I really liked using was color coding all the topics that I had in my specification. So you just write them all out and then use red, amber, or green, depending on how you feel about it. And then by the end of the exam period, hopefully all of it will be green, and you're as confident as you can possibly be for your exam. The next tip I have for enjoying your studying as much as possible is to have a workspace that you like being at. So this desk is genuinely just where I spend most of my study time. I very occasionally go to the library when I'm getting a little bit bored of being in the same space for a really, really long time. But for the most part, this is my workspace. Everything is exactly the way I need it, so I can be as comfortable as possible when I'm studying. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm not spending a ton of time making sure everything's perfect. I can just get straight to work and focus on the task. I also just work better when I have a bigger screen, so I can just have all my stuff open and really lock in. But how you set up your desk is completely personal to you. Just make sure you enjoy it, and sometimes even maybe you get a little bit excited to sit down at your desk and get some work done. And sixth and final tip is to schedule in some proper wind down time. So I've talked a lot about time blocking and how useful it can be for when you want to be really efficient with your studying and you making sure you can prioritize the right thing during a study period. But I also think it's equally as important to block out time for winding down. You can only study at your full capacity when your brain is properly rested. So take the time to do something you enjoy for a couple hours every now and then, outside of just the 5-minute break you give yourself when you're doing Pomodoro. Speaking of making time, I also think it's super important to make time for some exercise every day, or at least every other day, especially when an exam period gets really busy. So I used to make it a habit when during A-levels and GCSEs, I would just use the excuse of studying and say that I wasn't going to go to the gym that day, and it went on for a couple weeks, which I don't recommend for anyone. If you're in this position, my recommendation is that you're going to be sitting quite a few exams for the next couple years. So if you get into this habit of missing weeks and months of exercise just because of an exam, it's not going to go well. Not only is it going to be so much more beneficial for your long-term health, it's going to make you feel way better for when you come back to study if your break is actually going outside and getting some exercise. So yeah, take the time, block out the parts of your day that you want to enjoy and get some exercise in, and you'll be fine. And I guarantee you'll enjoy studying way more. Alright, but that's about it for all the tips I've got for you guys in this video. Hopefully there was something in there at least that was as actionable as possible so you can implement it today. Let me know in the comments if there are any other study videos you want to see or if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.